Can you wave at them? Can you say hi? Can you say hi? Can you blow them a kiss? Huh? Can you blow them a kiss? Oh, good job. Oh boy. Yeah. You gonna play hide and seek with them? Yeah. Hi everyone, welcome to the Country Crocheter. My name's Katie. This is my very first podcast, so I'm excited. Welcome everybody. I am 25 years old and I've been crocheting for about 15 years on and off. I am from Tennessee. You might be able to tell by the accent. But now I live in Kentucky, just right across the state line. I'm 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes away from the state line. Both of them are small towns. I still live in a small town. I am married with a 1-year-old who keeps me on my toes. Oh boy. I have 2 nephews and I play with them all the time, and I thought I was ready. I was like, I've got this, no problem. Oh boy. She keeps me on my toes. She loves to play with my yarn, loves to help me try to crochet when I got it out. So anytime Mama is crocheting, Michelle has got to crochet with me. Whether that be taking and pulling my yarn out, destroying my yarn. But, you know, that's what you get when you want to crochet and you have a 1-year-old. So, a little bit more about myself. Like I said, I grew up in a very small town. Red Bull Springs. You know, I want to spread the word about them. It's a great little town. We used to be very famous for our sulfur water that we still have. In the 1800s, it was like a big boom town. Like all of a sudden, almost overnight, people thought sulfur water had medicinal uses. Help people with cirrhosis of the liver, all kinds of things. There's 4 kinds of sulfur water that is there. There is double twist, red and black, if I'm not mistaken, and I cannot think of the other 2. I used to drink the sulfur water when I was a kid because my grandparents have well water, and that well water still had some of the sulfur in it, and I'll tell you, that is the best water you will ever drink. And, you know, it's a great little place. It still has 3 of its original hotels. You have the Thomas House, which was formerly the Cloyd House Hotel. You have the Donahoe, and you also have the Armour Hotel. And those 3 were there while the big boom of sulfur water. And people come into Red Bull Springs to see it all. That's where the name comes from, is Red Bull Springs, because when the founder came and stopped, he was amazed that the creeks were actually boiling and he could smell sulfur. I cannot speak. He could smell sulfur. And after that, you know, the town blew up. It was a big thing. People came from everywhere, from Nashville, Memphis, New York, everywhere. People came from all over the place to try the sulfur water. They had hot houses. You could get massages with that sulfur water. And there was so many attractions at the time. And as the economy has kind of, you know, it kind of went downhill in 2008. A lot of things had changed. It's nowhere near as big and as popular as it was, but it's still got that cute little country charm. Everybody knows everybody. They'll wave at you. They'll ask you how you're doing. it's just a great place to go. So if you ever want to go to a very small town in Tennessee, I highly recommend you go into my hometown of Revelin Springs and exploring. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful in the fall. Oh gosh. But I'll tell you, you can get lost on back roads, so be careful. uh, Now I live in Kentucky. Like I said, just right across the state line. I live in Monroe County, and it's great. I love it. It's exactly like Macon County, down to the T. I don't feel lost at all. It's just like I'm at home. Although a lot of my family isn't here, still it feels like home. Everybody's friendly. They talk to you. They say, hi, how are you? They wave. It's just great. Like I said, I've been crocheting for about 15 years. When I was 10, my granny bought me a little briefcase. It had all kinds of different crafts in it. It had knitting, crocheting, loom knitting, cross stitch, embroidery, which I've done them all. Granny bought me that kit anyway, and I told her, I was like, well, I want to learn how to crochet, because when I was little, Granny crocheted me a blanket that she took with us to church every Sunday, and I loved that baby blanket. I loved it. I carried it everywhere. And side note, for my baby shower, my granny gave me that same exact blanket that she had made for me when I was a kid for Michelle to use, and I love that blanket. I was in tears when I saw it. I was so happy. I was so glad she thought to give that to me. That way I could pass it down to Michelle, and Michelle can eventually pass it down to her kids, and it'd be a family heirloom. And I wanted to learn how to crochet, and I told Granny, I was like, Granny, I'm ready to crochet. You're gonna have to show me how to do it. Well, she sits me down. She said, I'm going to teach you how to do a granny square, the basics of the different things for crochet. I was like, okay. Well, let's just say that ended in a disaster, a literal disaster. I did my 4 chains, we connected it, and I could not for the life of me get it. I sat there and I tried for days and days, and I went up there every day trying to figure it out. Well, anyway, I just put it down, did the loom knitting for a while. That was easy. I loved it. That made me quite a few scarves. Well, about 2-3 years later, I decided I was going to pick it back up again and try to crochet. And the whole entire time while I didn't crochet, I still tried. I kept making chains after chain after chain, trying to figure it out. I read the little booklet, trying to see if I could figure it out that way. I went to the library and borrowed books to see if I could do it then, and I couldn't get it. I wanted to crochet so bad, and I kept trying and kept trying. Oh wow, I'm rambling on for 8 minutes. Alrighty, we need to speed this up. Well, like I said, a couple of years later, I went on YouTube and started searching for crochet tutorials, and that's when I found the Crochet Crowd YouTube channel. And that's where I learned how to crochet. And the first thing I ever made was a scarf, just a single crochet scarf. I made it like 10 miles long. But I wish I still had it when I moved. When I got married and moved, a lot of my crochet projects, I don't know what happened to them. I guess they got lost in the moving process. They might have accidentally gotten thrown away. I'm not really sure, but I was so proud of that scarf. I wore it everywhere. And that's when it finally clicked. I figured it'd be the same. Granny sitting across from me showing me how to crochet would work. But I couldn't get it, and then I watched the Crochet Crowd's video, and it just clicked, and I loved it. And after that, I was hooked. I have made amigurumi, baby clothes, blankets, washcloths. If it's out there to crochet, I've probably tried it at one point in time. I loved making slippers. I was on a slipper kick for at least 2 years, so every year people got slippers for Christmas. I'm sure they got tired of them and they're thrown away, but you know, that's okay. That's okay. I had fun making them at the time. But anyway, I'm going to start with my whips, and I only have one. I know. How I've done it, I'm not for sure. Normally I have 5 or 6 laying around everywhere saying, work on me, and I never do. But I only have one, and it is a baby blanket for my brother and his wife. They are fixing to have a little girl in November. Probably be here in October, so I need to get my butt in gear. But it is the Little Axel Flower Baby Blanket. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. I will try to link it in the description box below. If I can figure it out, I may not. So if I don't, I'm so sorry. The yarn that I have used is the Line Brand Yarns Pound of Love. Maybe backwards. I'm sorry if you can't read that. I'm still trying to figure all this out. And it is the color Bubblegum. It's color number 102. And it's perfect for a little girl. I love this yarn. This yarn is my favorite yarn to use for baby blankets. It's soft. It works up really good. And this whole ball, I use right at this whole ball of yarn to make a baby blanket. And a lot of times I have enough left over to make them a little lovey blanket to go with their baby blanket, or I might crochet them a little hat to go with it. It just depends on my mood of which one I want to make at the time. But like I said, that's my only whip. Like I said, I'm surprised myself. I didn't ever believe I could have just one. But now we're going to go on to future projects, my yarn acquisitions, because I've got 2 more baby blankets to do and get done before these babies get here. Everybody I know is having babies. And there's not enough hours in the day to crochet to get them done. But I also have another ball of Line Brand Pound of Love. And it is pastel blue, color number 106. Like I said, it's soft yarn. I love this yarn. It's so squishy, so soft. It's 1,020 yards of yarn. Yeah. 932 meters. Like I said, it's a lot of yarn. And I love this yarn to make baby blankets with. I don't want to keep saying that. I need to. The next color, like I said, is also another one of Pound of Love. And it is pastel green. Color number 156. Is that focusing? I'm not so sure. Anyway, this is for another baby blanket. My cousin is fixing to have a baby. She doesn't know what it is yet, and it was so hard for me to figure out what color I wanted to do, and you really can't tell the color. The picture is washing it out, but it is a beautiful pastel Eastery green. And I don't know what patterns I'm going to be using yet. I'll probably do one called the Midwife, and I may do another one of these little Axel flower baby blanket pattern. I'm not sure yet, but it'll come to me when I decide. Those are my next 2 projects. I don't know when I'll get to them. Like I said, I have a 1-year-old, and it is hard for me to crochet every day. I don't get to crochet every day, so I don't know how often I'll do these videos. Probably once a month. Lucky if you get 2 a month. But those are my future projects that I've got going on. Now I'm going to show y'all projects that are finished and ready to go to their forever home, or projects that I've done for my daughter Michelle to show y'all what I've done before, because I don't get to show off my crochet to anybody. This is a blanket for a friend of mine who just had a little boy not too long ago. It's called the Midwife. And I used the Burnett Baby Sport yarn. No, I don't get to go to Joann's quite often. It's about an hour and 15 minutes away, depending on traffic. Sometimes it's not as long, it's about an hour. But normally I have to go to Walmart to buy my yarn. And this is the softest that I can find for a baby that doesn't irritate their skin. And soon my friend will be getting that blanket. Excited, I hope she loves it. The next one was a doll blanket that I was asked to make for a friend. It is the V-stitch. I've watched so many patterns for different blankets. Jada and Stitches has a good tutorial for this. Beth in Texas has a good tutorial as well. I used to watch her videos a lot. I loved her videos too. The next one is a blanket I made for Michelle for her first birthday. As long as I'm alive, she will always have a blanket for her birthday and Christmas. She will never, as long as I can, she will always have one for each. This is the fan stitch. This was also a Jada and Stitches tutorial. I use a lot of her videos for a lot of things I do. So hi Jada, thank you so much for all the awesome tutorials that you put out there that are free. Quick little story here. While I was making this blanket for Michelle, she kept, every time I'd pull it out, she'd come running up to me, pulling it out of my arms, pulling it, trying to take it with her. She wanted it so badly. So I'd have to stay up well 10:30, 12 o'clock at night trying to work on it as much as I could for her birthday. And when I finally finished it, I was putting the border on it one morning. I finally finished it and I was like, come here Michelle, it's time for you, you can finally have your blanket. She got it and she won't. She never lets it go. She's asleep right now, so that's why I've got this blanket. She's got one of her other ones. But she loved this blanket. And I'm hoping one day that she'll want to crochet with me as much as I want her to crochet with me. Because she always, it never fails. It's like she hears the ball bands rattling on the yarn whenever I go to pull it out. Here she comes. She comes running. And she grabs that ball of yarn and it goes flying. But those are some of the blankets that I've recently made. Next, here are two dresses that I made while I was pregnant with Michelle. And both of these came from Bag A Day Crochet, her channel. This is the first one. Forgot there was a string there. Michelle never got to wear them, unfortunately. When she was little, she absolutely hated dresses. Hated them. I could never get her to wear one. So mostly we wore onesies and pants. But that one was made with Sweet Rolls yarn. I know you can get it at Joann's. It's a Premier yarn is the company that produces it. And it's beautifully variegated. I love it. It's really thick. It's a 4-ply worsted weight yarn. It's really thick and I like it. I like it thick because that way it was perfect size for her in the winter. It was like, that'd be great. She'll stay warm with her little leggings and long sleeve onesie, and she would never wear it. So there's that. Here's the other dress. Let's see here. There's the little collar of it. And the little sleeves. Like I said, this is also another bag a day crochet tutorial. Here's the back. Sorry. I'm sitting right beside my window and I'm right here on the main road, so every time a vehicle passes I have to look. But that was also another bag a day crochet video. When I made it, I had some leftover blue yarn from another baby blanket I had made for someone. And I love this color. It's so pretty. It's quite a dark blue, as you can tell. The screen, I think, makes it look a little bit darker than it really is. But it also had this creamy, yellowy, off-white, some stash of yarn that I had that somebody given me. And I was like, that would be so cute. And it almost looks like, it reminds me of Belle from Beauty and the Beast, because that's been my favorite movie since I was a little kid. I wanted to dress her up as Belle for Halloween, but she hates dresses, and we was a penguin instead. But I enjoy crocheting. It's something, it calms me. I love it. I love to tell people about crochet, teach them how to crochet. I'm hoping to teach them more. I'm hoping, baby, I can take eventually and load up very simple things of how to do a single crochet, double crochet, slip stitch. And I know there's thousands and thousands of tutorials out there that everybody's done that shows them, but people teach different ways. People learn different ways. Some can understand others better. And if I can teach just one person how to crochet, it's all worth it in the end. Like I said, I don't know how often I'll be able to make these videos with a 1-year-old. I work full time. I actually work for the school system. I cook for kids every day. I'm so excited. I love to cook. I have a lot of hobbies. I love baking. I still cross stitch. I embroider. I knit. I don't knit very often anymore. Although occasionally I will knit a scarf if I want to give somebody a little gift. And I read. I listen to audiobooks while I crochet. I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone with that, and I love it. But yeah, that's, like I said, my name's Katie. Thank you for watching this video. I know it's horribly long, and I've probably rambled a lot, and I'm so sorry. But I just thought I'd like y'all to get to know me, get to know where I'm from. I'm proud of my little hometown. So, like I said, if you ever go exploring around Tennessee looking for little towns, I really hope that you go there. I will say they always have a car show in September. It's one of the longest running car shows in Tennessee, and it's always in September. And today's August 1st. So if you get a chance, I think it's the first Saturday. It's the first weekend after Labor Day. So if you get a chance, I would highly recommend going. You can see our small little town. You get an amazing car show, and I'm telling you, it is forever long of vehicles. There's vendors. People have their cars up for sale, the vintage cars. I get excited because I love Bel Airs. A 56 Bel Air, Chevy Bel Air, that is my dream car. And one of these days I'm going to have one. And hot pink at that. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I hope to see y'all again soon, and I hope y'all have a great day. Bye, guys.